What's going on there, guys? We back with another one. And today we got to talk about Stephen A. Smith clapping back at the reporter that asked Darvin Ham the question about the Lakers ducking the Denver Nuggets. Well, we won't have to find that out now because the Lakers took care of business last night in the play-in. They got rid of the New Orleans Pelicans, and now they will be facing Denver. And you have to look at it a couple ways. First, you know, LeBron James and Anthony Davis knows this is the team you're going to have to go to or go through to get where you want to be in the Western Conference and position yourself to potentially get to a finals. Now, if you knock out Big Bad Denver, it's pretty much open. You look at OKC and those other teams, yeah, they're in a better position, but do you really pick them to beat the Lakers in a 7-game series? See, the pressure would be more on them, and the Lakers have LeBron James and Anthony Davis. So you look at that, man, you see that the Lakers, you know, if they're able to compete in this series, they would give themselves a chance. The problem with it is they lost their last 8 games against the Denver Nuggets. And the good thing is they get to find out early, him and AD, can they beat Denver and extend this season? Or will they just simply get beat in the first round and then get ready for the Olympics? Because both of those guys are playing in the Olympics. So it's kind of a win-win, you know, for their bodies. If they don't win, you know, if they don't win out and go to the West Finals or to the finals. But it is a good gauge to see where you're at early in the postseason and see how far you can possibly go. Stephen A. Smith has submitted the question, and it wasn't just him, it was a lot of people. Manuel Acho and some others said, should they lose on purpose, you know, to the New Orleans Pelicans and potentially face that winner between the Golden State Warriors and the Sacramento Kings? But they were pretty much saying that would give them an easier path. But, you know, with that, you start to wonder, would AD be healthy playing back-to-back like that? You risk injury and different things like that. So you just come out and control what you can control, and that's what the Lakers did. But Stephen A. Smith is not happy about the question that one of the reporters asked Darvin Ham. We're about to look at that right now. Let's peep.
Does that maybe
saying what again?
It'd be better off if you guys lost this game to avoid Denver in the first round to play?
Insane asylum sources say.
Sure.
Nah, if you
It
just
wasn't sourced. It wasn't.
Okay.
It was just chatter.
just someone that just got out of the insane asylum.
Before we ask a question, before we answer this question, I'm going to do something I never do. As you know, Wendy and Doggy, I'm incredibly protective of the industry. But every now and then, there's some weak-ass reporters out there that bring up questions like that. Talk, TV talk. Ask a direct question. We didn't sit up here and suggest that the Lakers should avoid the Denver Nuggets. What we asked were you going to? Because the Denver Nuggets been whipping your ass. They've beaten you 8 straight. It's been nearly it's been over a year and a half since you've recorded a victory against them. That's what we said. You see, this is the kind of stuff that irritates me about our industry sometimes, which I am very, very protective of, because I understand that everybody doesn't have the platforms that we have, guys, and I get it. But when you sit up there in front of the coach and you ask a question, could you have the decency to represent the question accurately? People weren't talking about how the Lakers should throw a game and avoid Denver. What we were saying is, would they? Do you have the courage to sit up there and say, they've been whipping our ass and we want them? Or are you going to take the path of easiest resistance? That's an entirely different question than saying, oh, the public, the media out there was saying you should avoid them. They were not, Darvin Ham. I'm reaching out to the coach of the Lakers. Darvin Ham, that is a lie. The media was not. Not that he said that. I'm talking about the person that asked the question. Darvin Ham, the media was not saying you should avoid Denver. We were asking, would you? And that was a legitimate question going into last night's game. That's all I want to say about that. Go ahead, Joe.
Fair enough.
I'm going to be honest. What Stephen A. Smith came up a lot, you know, would they purposely lose that game and try their luck with facing the OKC Thunder in the first round, which I think would be a favorable matchup for the Lakers. I mean, you know, nothing's guaranteed from one day to the next, right? So you just try to go ahead and get that win that's in front of you. And I'm glad they took that approach because you have to. You kind of are what you are at this point in the season. Yeah, you could potentially get further if you were to face OKC in the first round. You got veterans that's been there before. OKC, they're on the rise, but they're not there yet. So looking at that, I could understand why people would think they should have tried to play OKC. But with the way they've played themselves into the play-in, one thing you can't do, and as well as the Lakers has been playing, you can't go out of your habits. You want to hit the ground running. And a lot of those 8 games they lost against Denver has been very competitive down the stretch. Quite a few of those games. And so they feel like if they correct a few things, they would have the opportunity to win. And Denver don't have Bruce Brown coming off the bench no more. Now, it looks like Christian Brown, Peyton Watson, some of those guys have stepped up off the bench. So, you still have to be accountable for those guys. And I think Reggie Jackson spent some time out there on the floor this year when Jamal Murray was battling a few injuries. So you have to look at that too. They have a very deep team, and they're the favorites. Like, I don't pick LA to come out of that series, because, again, I don't understand why they didn't go get a big center to guard Jokic, a big athletic center, because honestly, AD can't do it. He just can't. And AD can be guarded by several of Denver men is about as good as you can guard AD. They have a lot of those 6'10" interchangeable wing/forward defending guys. You got Michael Porter Jr., you got Peyton Watson, you got Aaron Gordon, who gets a lot of the LeBron assignment. He has just enough strength and athleticism to, especially at this stage of LeBron's career, to neutralize him pretty much, for most of the games. Now, LeBron does get off sometimes, but if Aaron Gordon's knocking down his open shots from the corner, he's attacking the rack, and he's getting weak side dunks and all that, it wears down the team. When he's going offensively, what do you give up to Denver? Because that's who you want to see Jokic hitting in stride to get those shots off. You got KCP, as long as he's knocking his shots down, I don't see no way for LA to win. And so when I look at this, I said, AD and LeBron, this is just my thoughts. When I first seen it come out, I said AD and LeBron's going to try to go out there and win that game because they want to see what they can do early. They want to see is Denver going to be out the way. If not, let's get this rest for the Olympics. Because I honestly think LeBron at this stage is prioritizing the Olympics. I think he knows he's not going to win a championship this year, or it's not likely that he wins a championship this year. Although if something goes wrong with Jokic or somebody on Denver's team, it would open up things, a lot more. Like, I feel like they play Boston or any of those teams in the East, I feel like they feel a lot better. It just seems like Denver is that one team that's just a little too much for them around the board. Because the Lakers have a really good team, honestly, especially when D'Lo is hitting like he was hitting last night. Austin Reeves, those guys, they have enough infusion of young talent to mix with the vets, top of the top, that they can compete with anybody. We saw that last year with Denver. So we're going to see how this series plays out, what identity it takes on. Stephen A. Smith asked the question. I'm not really going to bash him too much for that question. That's just talking here on TV. But I knew they weren't going to try to lose that game. Not at this age and not with how anything can happen. And one thing you want if you're a team that age and you have a lot of injuries is rest. Rest is paramount, and that becomes the thing that takes precedence over anything else. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Till next time, peace.
Skip tweeted something, and although I disagree with the tweet, and hopefully Skip would take it down.
I'm not going to take it down.
Skip. 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 Skip.